The Phoenicians in America. In America B.C., Fell suggested that the greatest of the ancient mariners who crossed the Atlantic long before Columbus were the Phoenicians. And the Phoenicians are Ethiopians. They were of Semitic origin and spoke a language that was of the Canaanite subgroup, which used alphabetical letters similar to ancient Hebrew. There are different theories regarding the earliest Phoenicians. The most predominant is that they emerged from a wider group known as Canaanites who had previously populated a land called Canaan, which stretched from modern-day Lebanon, Israel, and the Palestinian territories to the western part of Jordan and southwestern Syria. In the west, this group was called Carthaginians, and the city of Carthage got its name from them when they settled there in 814 BC, in what is now the northern tip of Tunisia. Well, Carthaginians are also Ethiopians. At the same time, they also established trading posts along the North African coast as far west as Morocco and into southern Spain. The Romans referred to them as the Punics, but this refers also to the Carthaginians in North Africa who used the Punic dialect and alphabet. The North African center of the western or Carthaginian ethnic stock of the Phoenicians was Carthage. Regarding the Phoenicians, Fell wrote in America B.C. The alphabet family tree. The Phoenician alphabet is the root of the modern Western alphabets adapted from scholarphoenician.org. In the wake of the Celtic pioneers came the Phoenician traders of Spain, men from Cadiz who spoke the Punic tongue, but wrote it in the peculiar style of lettering known as Iberian script. Although some of these traders seem to have settled only in the coast and then only temporarily, leaving a few engraved stones to mark their visits or record their claims of territorial annexation. Other Phoenicians remained here and together with Egyptian miners became part of Wabanaki tribe of New England. Descendants of these visitors are also to be found apparently among the Amerindian tribes, several of which employ dialects derived in part from the ancient tongues of Phoenicia and North Africa. The Phoenician Newton Stone in Scotland. The Newton Stone in Aberdeenshire, Scotland, demonstrates a Phoenician influence in northern Europe and can be compared with similar artifacts in North America. On one side of the pillar are faded, bilingual ancient writings in Phoenician and a Celtic script called Ogham. That's O-G-H-A-M. The vowelless writing system that was principally used long ago in the British Isles. On the other side is a design of a snake along with a variant of the barbell-shaped glyph often associated with astronomical phenomena. While the translation of the bilingual monument is not conclusively accepted, Lawrence Austin Waddell's study of the Newton Stone from the 1920s is perhaps the most reliable. He used previous unsuccessful efforts to help him identify the Phoenician script as Aryan, after A-R-Y-A-N, Phoenician, one of the many different forms of the language. Once he began translating, he was able to find strings of personal, ethnic, and place names. His interpretation reads, "This sun cross swastika was raised to Baal or Baal, the god of sunfire, by the Cassi or Cassi Baal and of Cast, K-A-S-T, of the Selenium subclan of the Canaanite or Hittite palace dwellers. The Phoenician named Akkar of Cilicia, the Prawt or Pratt, that is Barat or Brahat or Briton. I was to discover several dozen good examples of Ogham, capital O-G-H-A-M, inscriptions in my journeys throughout the United States, although most were etched horizontally, unlike the Newton stone. The Burn stone, that's the Bourne stone. More epigraphic evidence of Phoenicians in America was offered by Fell. He identified an Ogham inscription on Monhegan Island off the coast of Maine to read, "Ships from Phoenicia, cargo platform." According to Fell, this was a posted inscription in former Phoenician capitals where to load and unload trading vessels. Another artifact that Fell says was likely left in North America by Phoenician sailors is the Barn stone from Barn, Massachusetts on Cape Cod. It was found in the foundation of a Wampanoag house around 1800 and was later used as a doorstep for a meeting house. It is currently on display at the Museum of the Barn Historical Society. Fell interpreted it to read a proclamation of annexation. "Do not deface by this Hanno takes possession." The earliest authenticated Phoenician inscription in the Americas is a tablet in Iberian script discovered in 1838 in a burial chamber at the base of Mammoth Mound in Moundsville, West Virginia. Fell also notes other examples of scripts found in Massachusetts and Oklahoma that were likely employed by Phoenician, Punic, P-U-N-I-C, colonists who came from their ancient homelands throughout the Mediterranean. A comparison of Phoenician writing circa 800 to 600 BC from what is now Lebanon with the styles of Punic writing from Spain and the Massachusetts-born stone demonstrate the similarities, as can be seen by comparing the letters representing the sound D, G, and D. An April 2013 news article from a local Cape Cod newspaper had the headline, "Barn Stone Continues to Baffle the Experts." The article cited Judy McAllister, director of the Jonathan Barn Historical Center, who explained that Fell's translation and the proposed connection with Phoenicia, along with several other theories regarding interpretation of the inscription, are still in vogue. These include the use of Native American and Chinese languages and the runes RUNES of the Vikings. For the latter, she noted author Frederick Pohl's Atlantic crossings before Columbus, where a Norse language expert from a century ago claims the inscription was related to Jesus in heaven. Regarding the confusion of the interpretations and the lack of any serious research since Fell, McAllister noted, "We need a real good researcher that knows all of these things and can decide which one it really is."